Govinda Balaram Girivarada Girivarada Govinda Balaram Girivarada Girivarada Yashvara Ashodanandana Brajajanana Yam Gatira Vanatla Yam Gatira Vanatla Jayurvanda Jaya Radha Pada Gunjavira Jaya Radha Pada Gunjavira Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Uttara Jaya Prabhupada ki, Radharam Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Go Premanande Hari Hari Om. Hare Krishna, all assembled devotees in the temple, room and online. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, text number 26. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Ishatamodhikasmin. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Ishatamodhikasmin. Jata Suretara Kulekvat Tavanukampa. Jata Suretara Kulekvat Tavanukampa. Na Brahmanot Natu Bhavasya Navairamaya. Yanme Herpitas Virasi Padmakara Prasada. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Esha Tamodikasmin. Jata Sudretara Kulekvatabanukampa. Na Brahmano Natu Bhavasya Navairamaya. Yanme Herpita Shirasi Padmakara Prasada. Please chant, Prabhus. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Ishatamodhikasmin. Jata Suretara Kulekvatabanukampa. Na Brahmano Natu Bhavasya Navairamaya. Yanme Pita Shirasi Padmakara Prasada. Ham Raja Prabhava Isha Tamodhimesmin. Jata Suretara Kulek Fatana Kankampa. Na Brahmano Natu Bhavasya Navairamaya. Yanme Rikita Shirasi Padmakara Prasada. Any devotee online, please?
Kvaham Raja Prabha Ishatamodike. Excuse me. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Ishatamodike Smin.
Kvaham Raja Prabhava Isha Tamodhikasmin.
Jata Sureta Rakule. Kvadhavanukampa.
Jata Suretara Kulekvatanukampa. Ampa.
Na brahmano natupavasya navairamaya.
Na brahmano natupavasya navairamaya.
Yanmir pita shirasi padmakara prasadaha.
Yan Vervita Shirasi Padmakara Prasada. Fa, where? Aham, I am. Raja Prabhava, being born in a body full of passion. Isha, oh my lord. Tama, the mode of ignorance. Adhika, surprising in. Surpassing in. Asmin, in this. Jata, born. Sura Itarakule, in a family of atheists or demons who are subordinate to the devotees. Va, where? Tava, your. Anukampa, causeless mercy. Na, not. Brahmana, all of Brahma. Na, not. To, but. Bhavasya, of Lord Shiva. Na, nor. Vai, even. Ramaya, of the goddess of fortune. Yat, which. Me, of me. Apritaha, offered. Shirasi, on the head. Padmakara, lotus hand. Rasada, the symbol of mercy. Translation. O my Lord, O Supreme, because I was born in a family full of the hellish material qualities of passion and ignorance, what is my possession? And what is to be said of your causeless mercy, which was never offered even to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi? You never put your lotus hand upon their heads, but you have put it on up, but you have put it upon mine. Prahlad Maharaj was surprised at the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. For although Prahlad was born in a demoniac family, and although the Lord had never before placed his lotus hand on the head of Brahma, Shiva, or the goddess of fortune, his constant companion, Lord Nrsimhadev, kindly placed his hand on the head of Prahlad. This is the meaning of causeless mercy. The causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead may be bestowed upon anyone, regardless of his position in this material world. Everyone is eligible to worship the Supreme Lord, irrespective of his material position. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mamchaya yovyabcharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitya ityan brahmapuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstances, at once transcends the mode of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Anyone who engages in continuous devotional service to the Lord is situated in the spiritual world and has nothing to do with the material qualities, sattva guna, raja guna, and tamoguna. Because Prahlad Maharaj was situated on the spiritual platform, he had nothing to do with his body, which had been born of the modes of passion and ignorance. The symptoms of passion and ignorance are described in Srimad Bhagavatam 1 to 19 as lust and hankering. Tadara Jastamo Bhava Kamalabhadeshchaya. Prahlad Maharaj, being a great devotee, taught the body born of his father to be born of passion and ignorance. But because Prahlad was fully engaged in the service of the Lord, his body did not belong to the material world. The pure Vaishnava's body is spiritualized even in this life. For example, when iron is put into a fire, it becomes red hot and is no longer iron, but fire. Similarly, the so-called material bodies of devotees who fully engage in the devotional service of the Lord, being constantly in the fire of spiritual life, have nothing to do with matter, but are spiritualized. Srila Madhvacharya remarks that the goddess of fortune, the mother of the universe, could not get mercy similar to that which was offered to Prahlad Maharaj, for although the goddess of fortune is always a constant companion of the Supreme Lord, the Lord is more inclined to his devotees. In other words, devotional service is so great that when it is offered even by those born in low families, the Lord accepts it as being more valuable than the service offered by the goddess of fortune. Lord Brahma, King Indra, and other demigods living in the upper planetary systems are situated in a different spirit of consciousness, and therefore they are sometimes troubled by demons. But a devotee, even if situated in the lower planets, enjoys life in Krishna consciousness under any circumstances. Paratasvatakharmata, as he acts himself, as he is instructed by others, or as he performs his material activities. He enjoys life in every respect. In this regard, Madhvacharya quotes the following verses, which are mentioned in the Brahmatarka. Shri Brahma Brahma Vivindradi Trikatat Stripurup Shtuta Tad Anyacha Kramadeva Sada Mukta Usmaritap Api Hari Bhaktau Chatat Jnane Sukha Chani Yamenatu Paratasvatta Karmatova Nakatha Chitat Anyatha. Once again, verse for today. Kvaham Raja Prabhava Ishatamodikasmin Ijata Surata Rakha Tavanukkampa Na Brahmano Natu Bhavasya Navairamaya Yane Prita Shirasi Padmakara Prasada. Translation. Oh my Lord, O Supreme, because I was born in a family full of the hellish material qualities of passion and ignorance, what is my possession? And what is to be said of your causeless mercy, which was never offered even to Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi? You never put your lotus hand upon their heads, but you have put it upon mine. Oh my Lord. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जना-शलाकय चक्षुरुमिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे All glories to Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. All glories to his wonderful devotees like Prahlad Maharaj ki jai. Are there any questions or comments? As usually, I always have the same impression whenever I read Srimad Bhagavatam, the beautiful verse or excellent, profound explanation of Srila Prabhupada. I'm almost like speechless. I have nothing to add and how to comment. It's a little puzzling for me. But anyway, let's repeat what Srila Prabhupada more or less emphasized in this particular text as the news, Srimad Bhagavatam news from spiritual world for all of us. According to my limited perception, two prominent points are exposed here in this particular text. Causeless mercy, of course, gratitude and appreciation of Prahlad Maharaj, and transcendental nature of the devotee, dedicated to pure devotional service, as Prahlad Maharaj performed. He was surprised, he expressed his surprise to the Supreme Lord. Oh my Lord, oh Supreme, because I was born in a family full of the hellish material qualities of passion and ignorance. What is my position? So sometimes we can feel in the same way. Oh my goodness, my Lord, I was born in the family of lechas, yavanas, meat eaters, those who are completely immersed in passion and ignorance, and somehow or another now I have a privilege to be amongst your devotees in your place of worship, like temple, or be engaged in devotional service. How lucky I am, how fortunate I am. Despite of all my mad, crazy activities before, I'm still accepted and eligible to engage in loving devotional service for Krishna for his satisfaction, meant to glorify the Supreme Lord. How lucky, how fortunate I am. So this beautiful Prahlad Maharaj astonishment, which actually is nothing else like glorification of the Supreme Lord, his, uh, his causeless mercy, his beautiful character that Krishna himself explained about his own character, his own qualities in chapter 9, text 29. Yes. So Krishna is talking about himself. Sometimes when devotees don't know each other, like with Bhagavad Purana Prabhu, we just struck conversation during breakfast yesterday. I have an impression that I saw him somewhere, and we just start to talk and ask different questions about each other. And the more we ask questions and the more we hear about answers, we start to learn more and more about each other. So he expressed himself when he joined Srila Prabhupada movement, when he met his Guru Maharaj, his journey from here to there, from there to any other place. So I learned about him more and more. Krishna. So these tendencies which are in us actually originate from Krishna, who is the supreme source of everything. So Krishna, to let us know about himself, how he thinks, how he feels, what he do, why he is doing these different things, is explaining in his Bhagavad Gita. So he mentioned in chapter 9, text number 22, Samoham sarvabhudeshu na medveshosti na priya bhajanti tumam bhaktya maiteteshu chapi aham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion, is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. And Srila Prabhupada very beautifully explained this particular point in his purport. One may question here that if Krishna is equal to everyone and no one is his special friend, then why does he take a special interest in the devotees who are always engaged in his transcendental service, like Prahlad Maharaj? But this is not discrimination. It is natural. Any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has a special interest in his own children. The Lord claims that every living entity, in whatever form, is his son, and so he provides everyone with a generous supply of the necessities of life. He is just like a cloud which pours rain all over, regardless of whether it falls on rock or land or water. But for his devotees, he gives specific attention. Such devotees are mentioned here. They are always in Krishna consciousness, and therefore they are always transcendentally situated in Krishna. The very phrase Krishna consciousness suggests that those who are in such consciousness are living transcendentalists, situated in Him. The Lord says here distinctly, Maite, they are in me. Naturally, as a result, the Lord is also in them. This is reciprocal. This also explains the words Yatra mam prapadyante tam satah vibhajamaham. Whoever surrenders unto me, proportionately I take care of him. This transcendental reciprocation exists because both the Lord and the devotee are conscious. When a diamond is in a gold ring, it looks very nice. The gold is glorified and at the same time the diamond is glorified. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter, and when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, he looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. Living entities in a pure state are called devotees. The Supreme Lord becomes the devotee of his devotee. If a reciprocal relationship is not present between the devotee and the Lord, then there is no personalist philosophy. In the impersonal philosophy, there is no reciprocation between the Supreme and the living entity. But in the personalist philosophy, there is. The example is often given that the Lord is like a desire tree. And whatever one wants from this desire tree, the Lord supplies. But here, the explanation is more complete. The Lord is here stated to be partial to the devotees. This is the manifestation of the Lord's special mercy to the devotees. The Lord's reciprocation should not be considered to be under the law of karma. It belongs to the transcendental situation in which the Lord and his devotees function. Devotional service to the Lord is not an activity of this material world. It is part of the spiritual world where eternity, bliss, and knowledge predominate. So we have two beautiful texts for today to contemplate. So we hear that the Supreme Lord is not partial to anyone. He's equal to everyone. However, he bestows his special loving affection to those who perform loving devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So we are not only we are trying to be devotee of the Supreme Lord, but according intensity of our humble and loving attempt to serve the Supreme Lord for his satisfaction, the Supreme Lord, in reciprocation, trying to be devotee of the devotee. So this is the example of pure love. Loving exchanges between Krishna, the Supreme Loving Father, and his sons, his part and parcel living entities, regardless their material position. Either someone, due to law of karma, took birth in the very low circumstances, in a very low family, mlechas, yavanas, chandalas, etc. Still, Lord disregards this if that a living entity exhibiting a loving attitude to the Supreme Lord. And this loving attitude usually starts with not only appreciation of the Supreme Lord, His glories, His omnipotence, His being omniscient, but also expressing His gratitude, like Prahlad Maharaj. When we learn the art of gratitude and develop attitude of gratitude, then our altitude will raise up. So let's contemplate how we can develop our attitude of gratitude to uplift our altitude. Every day, when Srila Prabhupada, being pure devotee of the Lord, who knows the Lord very well, he set up beautiful process, very beautiful lifestyle for all of us. We wake up, take shower in clean condition. We coming to the temple at early hours just to not only see the Lord, but by our presence and activities worship and glorify the Supreme Lord. So this is act of devotion. This is act of gratitude. We will not do this if we have no gratitude to the Supreme Lord. Why He situated us in Bhakti Yoga? But because we have inner gratitude of the Supreme Lord, we want to do something, not only say sweet, glorifying words, but also we want to support this by action. Sometimes people say actions speak louder than the words. So, of course, if we are not able to engage our senses, mind, intelligence, and our body in the action that speak louder than words, so then at least words are good as well. So we need to express somehow or another our gratitude to the Supreme Lord and start with Shravanam Kirtanam. So if we will engage our tongue properly, glorifying the Supreme Lord, expressing our gratitude, our thanks for everything what the Supreme Lord is supplying to us, for our spiritual upliftment, for our spiritual benefit, that we can come back to our original constitutional position, that, like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, in original constitutional position, the living entity glittering like gold. So in association of diamond, this gold and diamond combination is very beautiful, is very enchanting. So similarly, when living entity purify her heart and reactivate pure Krishna consciousness, so this glitter, this consciousness is full of effulgence, and because the Supreme Lord is in the heart of this living entity. So Therefore, we are every day trying to come to the temple, following the spiritual, beautiful lifestyle that pure devotees set up for us, just for our own spiritual benefit, for our own spiritual upliftment. So if we just only adopt this lifestyle, so then this is the act of expressing our gratitude, appreciation, and loving devotion. Of course, if we are aware of what we do and why we do what we do, then it's even much more, this much better and better and higher expression of intensity of our loving affection, uh, of gratitude to the Supreme Lord. So in everything what we do, we need to be conscious why we do what we do. Like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, in any circumstances, regardless if he was punished by his father, who actually, as we hear and we know, that he wanted to kill him because he was thinking that Prahlad Maharaj took part of his enemy, whom he hated. He was so envious of Supreme Lord Vishnu that he not only hated him, but also anyone who is taking part of Lord Vishnu, even his own son. Therefore, out of envy, he wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj. Still, Prahlad Maharaj, being engaged in loving devotional service, glorifying and worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord in his own heart, following instruction of his Guru Maharaj, Narada Muni, was completely transcendental and oblivious to hating activities of his father. Therefore, he mentioned, unfortunately, I took birth in a very unfortunate situation under pressure of passion and ignorance, hellish qualities of this material existence. But being in association of the Supreme Lord, with whom associate you become like. So he was associating with the Supreme Lord, and he assumed the godly qualities of the Supreme Lord. Like Srila Prabhupada give an example. When you put cold and hard iron bar into fire, after a while, this this iron bar, will assume qualities of fire. Although it is not fire, still assume the qualities of fire. If you touch something like paper or something, then it will burn to ashes. Although this is not fire, this is still iron, but with the qualities of fire, he acts like fire. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj, despite of this very disturbing circumstances, he was completely transcendental. He was not even thinking that father is so vicious that he want to kill him. He was thinking that actually father is playing with him in a little bit, strange way, but still, he was not accusing father. Like in our case, if something happened to us, we have immediate tendency to criticize the person, to defend ourselves, to attack even this person. So we can react to circumstances of life in two different ways, in positive way or negative way. Of course, Hiranyakashipu is ideal example of negativity. Also Kamsa, another example. Kamsa was fully Krishna conscious in a negative way. He was completely in samadhi, we can say. He was constantly meditating about Krishna 24/7, but in a very negative way. Narada Muni, as I remember, or Narada Muni, if I'm correct, if I remember correctly, Narada Muni was praying, "My dear Lord, please grant me such intensity of remembering you, like Kamsa is remembering you. This is because he was completely amazed how Kamsa was constantly immersed in the remembering Krishna, the Supreme Lord, in negative way. But he was so intense of this remembering that devotees are very eager to get such intensity to remember the Supreme Lord in any condition, regardless he was sleeping or he was awakened or he was eating or walking or doing anything. He was constantly aware of Krishna. So we, during performance our devotional service, if we developed such intensity of remembering Krishna, I'm doing this garlands for the Supreme Lord, and I need to be very careful and pick up everything in such a way that Krishna can enjoy. If Krishna will be satisfied, then my life is successful. So let me do everything in such a way that Krishna can enjoy. Every flower that I'm putting on the needle and putting on the thread can be satisfactory for Krishna. So if we will meditate like gopis in Vrindavan, they were meditating about Krishna's pastime, what Krishna did. Do you remember what Krishna did? I, I, do you do you remember what Krishna did yesterday? And are you aware what Krishna did today? And constantly Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So if we will develop this type of mood, constant remembrance of Krishna, and our activities just accept as some type of pretext to remember Krishna. Because if we will do nothing, so it's very difficult to, invoke some remembrance of Krishna. But if we engage ourselves, our body, our senses, mind, and intelligence in some activities which are meant to glorify Krishna or meant to satisfy Krishna somehow or another, so then it's easier to remember Krishna. So this is what Prahlad Maharaj was doing. Therefore, by this devotional attitude, by this his intensity of remembering Krishna, glorifying Krishna, expressing his gratitude and appreciation to Krishna, he was engaged in loving activities which are meant to spread glories of the Supreme Lord. He was even able to glorify Krishna and spread his glories among his colleagues, his fellow schoolmates, who were nothing else like the sons of demons. So they were polluted by envy of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. Still, Prahlad Maharaj, by his purity and eagerness to glorify the Supreme Lord, he infected them by bhakti virus, and they become affected by loving attitude of Prahlad Maharaj. I remember one cartoon from my childhood that I hear that kids were not very much enthusiastic to help their parents to do some activities at home. So then one boy who was with different attitude because his parents were very loving, so he was affected by their love, and so therefore he wanted to do something for them in expressing of his gratitude. So he got an idea that he will paint the fence, which was quite old and ugly. But he also knew that his friends are not very much inclined to do something for their parents, but he want to change this. So he got an idea that when he will paint this fence, he will do this in very joyful mood, with attitude of gratitude for for his parents. So he took pain and started to paint this fence. Oh, I want to just chant Hari Bol, but he was not Hari, no, he was not Krishna conscious. So he was singing some melodies, some songs, and in very joyful mood he was painting, and his friends came and saw him in this joyful mood, and they were wondering, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this for my parents? Because I am so grateful to them. They giving me everything, food. They giving, they dressing me. They bathing me. They doing everything for my pleasure. I want to do something for them, and therefore enjoying and singing. Oh, the Lord." And they were, "Whoa, this guy is crazy." And they telling to each other ear, "This guy is crazy. I don't know what he's doing. Hey, play. Hey, play with us." "No, no, I'm too busy. I'm so happy to do this." And after a while of this criticism, they were they were puzzled a little bit, because this enthusiasm of this person, was so infectious, that they were stop criticizing, and rather they were, start inquiring why he's doing this work, and what is there that he is so joyful. We are not so joyful, so maybe we should join him. Maybe this is secret, some special secret that he's holding. So maybe we should join. What do you think? Maybe, yeah, maybe try. Let's go. So then they join this small kid and ask him, "Do you have another brush?" "Yes, here you go. You can take it and you can join me." So they took this brush and they started to paint together with this boy, and they start to chant on the same melody some song, and it was a lot of fun. So this persistence of this enthusiastic boy influenced his friends, who were quite, morose and skeptical, and prone to criticize. So Prahlad Maharaj, being perfect example of this, maybe he was the source of this story, but Prahlad Maharaj, being so enthusiastic, emanates prema bhakti, this transcendental shakti, which coming from his pure heart, where he was worshipping lotus feet of his beloved Lord. So therefore, he was completely transcendental to unfavorable circumstances, and he created favorable circumstances. So we should take example from Prahlad Maharaj, such dedicated, wonderful devotee of the Lord, to be more proactive in our life. Proactive in sense of engaging our mind in positive way by through worshiping, appreciating, expressing gratitude to the Supreme Lord. But somebody can question, well, I'm not on this level to like Prahlad Maharaj. I'm not very Krishna conscious. It's very difficult for me to uh, love the Supreme Lord, whom I didn't see, I didn't feel, and it's quite difficult for me. Well, Krishna's devotees are visible and tangible. You can approach devotees who are manifesting godly qualities because of their loving relationship with Krishna. They are able to manifest this loving affection to the Supreme Lord and exhibit wonderful godly qualities. Uh, so therefore, by with whom associate we become like. If we associate with these devotees and express our tendency to glorify, to appreciate, to express gratitude, to them, Krishna will enjoy. I remember from my childhood, when I was teasing my younger sister, my parents was not very satisfied. And I was wondering why. And they explained to me, because you need to be very kind, very gentle to your sister. So when I start to do this, they were expressing the appreciation and happiness that I'm acting and behaving in very wonderful way. But if I was not doing this way, so I usually was getting some punishment and reprimand. So we know from Krishna himself, who is explaining about himself, what he's doing, what he's expecting, how he's thinking, what he desires, etc. Like we hear today. He is equal to everyone, but those who surrender to him, he reciprocate accordingly. So the more intensity we put in our loving affection to the Supreme, showing our appreciation, gratitude, so the more the Supreme Lord, being satisfied, bless us with his causeless mercy. It doesn't mean that we, by certain activities, we are deserving his mercy. Not necessary. It is mentioned that if we will make one step, Krishna will do toward him. Krishna will reciprocate with 100 steps toward us. We can see this with the example of parents and small children. Like we all are in love with Ruchi. When Ruchi is appearing in the temple, every eye is directed to Ruchi, from Shishirada Damodar to Ruchi. Why? Because she's so sweet. And now we can imagine when Krishna, little Krishna, was entering, that everybody was focused on little Krishna. So when Ruchi is approaching someone with her little steps, which are maybe not longer than like maybe our one finger. So, but for her is big step. So if we will do our step, there's like 10 steps of Ruchi. Why? Because we are much bigger. Krishna is the biggest one. So if Krishna will notice our sincere endeavor to gratify his senses, to to satisfy him, Krishna in their supplication, having melted heart by our sincere and serious endeavor, will approach us. And his approach will be much bigger than our approach. Our one step will be equal hundreds or thousands of steps of Krishna. This is causeless mercy. We didn't deserve this. If this means that we did such big step that Krishna reciprocating with the saints. No. Our little step is appreciated by Krishna, that Krishna is able to do such humongous step towards us. So this means causeless mercy. There is no cause for Krishna's mercy, but being affected toward all of us. And mm, his attention was drawn by our sincere and loving, affectionate endeavor to draw his attention upon us. So therefore, being satisfied by our sincere endeavor, he is bestowing upon us causeless mercy, which helping us to engage even more in loving devotional service. And then when we satisfy Krishna with our service, with our sincere endeavor, Krishna will bestow upon us even more mercy. And there is constant competition, transcendent competition. If we want this transcendental competition, we need to improve the quality of our activities. We need to engage not only our body, but also our mind with, with contemplating why we're doing what we're doing, and engage our intelligence, what to do more and with higher quality for Krishna's satisfaction. Because life is short and we don't have so much time. So therefore, we need to take advantage of any opportunity to do something pleasurable for Krishna's satisfaction. Then we can, like it is mentioned here, we can enjoy our life. We can enjoy our life in Krishna conscious way. This is Krishna consciousness. And Prahlad, and this is not just something, theoretical. Prahlad Maharaj and many other great Vaishnavas like Prahlad Maharaj are perfect example that we can observe, learn, and follow. So let's take very seriously this very beautiful example of Prahlad Maharaj and implement into our life and make our life successful. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? I know why you brought this beautiful comment, because you have tendency to show by action your appreciation and gratitude. In my case, it's not always like this. Of course, being aware of this, I'm sometimes, inspiring myself to do this, to show in this way by action. But I have also predominating tendency to engage my tongue and express verbally what I feel. And if it is possible, so then by my action also to emphasize this, that I'm sincere in this, what I express in my words. So since we have, tongue, since we have many other different senses, we can engage them in service to Krishna. Even if sometimes it's difficult, it seems that, different days seems like very similar or the same, which I don't think that in this way. They are very different. So, but if we will learn to take advantage of anything that can trigger to express our gratitude, even if it is the same words, but feeling can be different with less or more intensity. So we need to engage in this particular way to express our intensity. Yes, the words can be the same, but the emotional intensity can be different. I don't know where to check this here. So we have time now for Gita greeting. So there's no questions, no comments. Thank you so much for your attention. If you are smart enough, you for sure you will take advantage of news from Vaikunta today. Although the broadcast was not perfect, still the message is perfect. So please take advantage of this message and implement in your life to make your life better. Hare Krishna.